Dinarland highlights April 2nd, 2020. Bruce, the big call. Via Wiser Now. I am excited about the month of April. We are going to see a lot of things happen, and I think it is a very good time for us. Here we are about to start a whole new quarter, a whole new month, and we've got another 30 days to more or less stay at home, remain in place, and it could be interesting to see what it's going to do for us. We are not going to be inhibited by our redemptions, so don't worry about that. Doesn't mean you can't go to the bank or redemption center. Of course they are allowing for that, so don't worry about that at all. I can tell you is we are supposed to be in a crescendo in the next 48 hours, and that started at 10 a.m. Tuesday. The next 48 hours should prove to be a crescendo for us. I did hear some rates yesterday and they were higher than what we had anticipated on dinar, and dong should be running right alongside, maybe not the same as but not too far from the dinar. Adam Montana. As the US is giving the American people money for a stimulus package, why would it not make sense that the GOI RV to help their citizens? Iraq has a stimulus built in and ready to go. I don't mean to sound jaded, but I don't expect Iraq to do it for the citizens. It's not going to get done for the people, but it will get done, and many will benefit, including the little people. I still think the GOI can successfully RV at 10 cents. It would be most successful with a float, because the ability for IQD to increase more will encourage people to desire IQD over USD because of the opportunity for profits. The USD, after all, is not going to gain in value. Herd mentality kicks in. Iraqi people and outside sources will increase the demand for IQD based on further speculation, and that adds even more value. I do see and agree with some of the logic in the $1.16 argument. I just also see strategic value in a 10-cent plus float. With a float, their currency will hold more potential than the USD. But $1 or higher, $1.16, there is no question, at that rate it is more valuable. Both rates have positive aspects. Pimpy. These billionaires meet in Davos. They meet there once a year. A lot of you guys know about these meetings and Davos. One of these guys is a very influential financial advisor, was giving a speech and someone wrote an article about the speech. What the man went on to say was this. He actually made fun of so-called currency gurus. He bashed them 7 ways to Sunday. But as soon as he was done bashing them, he kindly said afterwards, having said all the negative things, he said the gurus actually got 2 of them correctly. He said the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnam dong in his opinion were great investments and thought that some of his people should invest in them as well. He only touched on the 2 currencies for a fraction of a minute, then he went on to remind everybody that when the Kuwait dinar changed, it created a lot of millionaires. There was a bump in the economy, and a slight one, because it wasn't as well known as the Iraqi dinar one, but it created a lot of millionaires. He said, but within 5 months 86% of these millionaires were flat broke. Flat broke. From time to time I read that article again just so I can hear his words, so that it reminds me of what not to do once the raw RV hits for our currencies. Markets. Via PDK. I am hearing very encouraging things. They are saying that starting around the 13th or 14th we may see the release. It could be perfect timing. What if they let this thing go on, say April 12th or 13th, somewhere around there? We hear the US is on some type of lockdown until May 1st. So that could be the perfect timing, giving us 2 weeks to get done with exchanges. What would make the most sense to me is for martial law to kick in sometime soon and stay in effect until May 1st. So we will have an extra level of security and safety when we start hitting the banks and redemption centers. Just IMO. They are keeping the banking side ramped up with the imminent rumors so that they are ready when it does finally go. No one knows the exact timing. All we can do is piece it together based on our contacts. What we are hearing, there is a very small group who know the actual timing on all of this. For obvious reasons they don't tell us. All we can do is keep hope alive. Delta, Catfa. Yesterday there was a very interesting statement from one of the citizens that live in Erbil. He went to this shop to buy stuff and the vendor refused to take dollars. Guru Frank 26, isn't that wonderful? When I read that out of your report I just smiled so big. You think the shop owners know something? This is very strange that now gradually, slowly a lot of vendors, they're not accepting the dollar. They're just taking dinars. So for you to do that, you know that there's something coming up from the CPI. Iraqi dinar evaluation and global currency reset news. Dinar Chronicles. Courtesy of Dinar Gurus.